Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome EVP and Chief Commercial Officer, Hilton, Chris Silcock, in discussion with Skift founder and CEO, Rafat Ali.
Thank you, everyone. Well, that was great. Haysha was great, right?
Yeah.
So good. That is true. So thank you, Chris, for being here.
Pleasure.
Thank you for coming all the way. You're the opening speaker, so we have to set the stage for the whole day.
Wow.
Hilton, you have a big responsibility. Hilton, you're the chief commercial officer, which means you're bringing in the money in the larger sense. Would that be fair to say?
That would be fair. My top line responsibility is RevPAR indexed customer satisfaction.
So the theme of the conference, the Tech Forum, is personalization. That's a big part of the whole day that we're talking about. You have 13 different brands at this point?
14, yeah.
14. Have not been the most acquisitive company in hospitality in general compared to a lot of others. But what does personalized booking mean to you?
Before that, congratulations on this being the first Tech Forum. I think it's absolutely the right time for us to be having these discussions, because I think, I'll get to the question. We have what I think is
You're saying nice things about us, please continue.
We'll be fine. I think we collectively have this multi-generational opportunity right now with the changing needs, desires, wants of our customers, along with the maturation of some technology. We collectively have the opportunity to reinvent the travel experience. So it's an exciting time, and I fully agree with the research saying relevancy. Relevancy has to be at the heart of how we reinvent this experience. Not gimmicks, not tech for tech's sake, but relevancy. What was the question?
The question is, I'm walking into Hilton Midtown.
Yes.
Giant one in New York.
Yes.
I'm lost because there's a giant cauldron I'm entering into.
Yeah.
What are you going to do for me?
So, our relentless focus for some time now, because of the change in distribution, sales, marketing, disruptors, has been on the experience. Singly put, that is the most important thing, because we know as our customers have access to different ways of searching, booking, different medium, more transparency about what's available. The one thing that will enable us to remain a leader in hospitality is if, when they arrive at one of our hotels, when they engage with us, they feel it's a different experience, that they feel it's a better experience for them. Now, that may mean personalization, it may mean ease of use, it may mean efficiency, but ultimately, it has to feel different. And that will mean, when we go forward 3-5 years, when they are just giving their technology their preferences, and their technology is searching and booking on their behalf, their preferences will be Hilton, meaning we will come first and foremost in what is returned. And fortunately, we have a history, almost 100 years now, of serving customers.
Isn't next year the 100th anniversary?
Next year is our 100th anniversary. And that's a great legacy. We have a legacy of innovation, whether it be the first airport hotel, or air conditioning, or room service, or the brownie, or pina colada, or more recently, choose your room, digital key, all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
We see ourselves as a 100-year-old startup who is continually going to innovate. And right now, because of this coming together of customer changes and technology, I think it's a really exciting time for us all to reinvent that customer experience.
So with these 14 brands, what are the technical and human complexities of the technology that you put behind that leads to personalization? Is it an ongoing battle? Is it done? Are you done with, everybody talks about digital transformation.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an ongoing journey. We started maybe 5 or 6 years ago putting a huge amount of focus on our app and its capabilities. Again, to the point made in the research, looking at how you put the customer in the center, identify pain points or opportunities to change the experience. And I'll give you an example of how you bring that to life. So you take one of the experiences every customer has is check-in. They're always going to check into a hotel. And it's easy to put gimmicks around that make you think you're helping their check-in. But when you really drill down and watch and observe customers, you'll see that What do they care about? Well, they're a bit concerned about what room they get and whereabouts in the hotel the room is. They're a bit concerned about, is their room going to be ready when they get there? And they're a bit concerned about, if I've had a long journey, am I going to have to queue at the front desk? Is it going to take me time to get to my room? So we went about making our app solve those three customer-centric problems. We gave them a floor plan for every one of our hotels overlaid on a Google map, so you can see exactly where your room is and you can choose
Every hotel,
everywhere in the world. We gave them, signals and messaging when the room is ready. So if they're still journeying to the hotel, they'll know their room is ready. And then third, we gave them a digital key on their phone, meaning they could completely bypass the front desk and go straight to room. And what's key there is there are several things. You can tell people they're checked in or that they're, other things about the check-in process. If you don't solve those three problems, then it's gimmicks. It's technology for technology's sake. And again, to reference the research, that's the key thing here, relevancy. Put the customer in the center and use technology to make their journey better, not just to demonstrate what we can do with technology.
So 2 follow-up questions on the mobile part. You mentioned the app. One of the challenges that a lot of travel companies have had is, sure, you may get somebody to download the app.
Yep.
You use all kinds of channels, whether direct or indirect. You use it once in the journey, it's done. Do you care about people using the app as part of when they're not traveling, or how do you think about getting people back all the time? Follow-up, I'm guessing what you're going to, part of it is personalization and loyalty.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, those abilities that make the customer's journey better are one part of a broader set of offerings we provide to try and encourage customers to have a direct relationship with us and be a member of our loyalty program. And we do that because we know if they do join and they share some more information with us, we can make their experience better, whether it be by giving them points for their stays that they can redeem on Amazon or redeem in our hotels, whether it be the digital capabilities for e-check-in, choose your room, whether it be a better value, giving them a better price if they engage with us and book direct, or to come connected room, the ability to extend that phygital experience, the combination of digital and physical, into the bedroom, where you can know when you open the door that it will be at your temperature and your media will be available on the TV, etc.
So how far is that vision? The key itself, the digital key, I'm guessing it's not everywhere at this stage, right?
It's about 3,000 hotels.
Out of?
5,300.
Okay.
So most of the US, and we're taking it internationally. There's a few more rules, regulations you have to get through in some countries, but it's on its way to being everywhere.
And then inside the room, that's still early?
That is early. So we have actually 4 hotels with what we're calling connected room. And that's the next customer-centric play for us in making the whole experience better, is they have at home this digital media experience, which is hugely different to what they have in their bedroom. And so we want them to be able to walk across the threshold of their room and have the same media available to them instantly without having to fiddle with loading, logging details on remote controls, which we all know is not fun, and who knows whether the remote controls mean. Anyway, we want
Oprah said this, the most germ has the most amount of germs on it, by the way.
That's right. Except for peanuts in a bar, apparently. But we digress.
So TV as a physical object, do you see that becoming obsolete, or do you think it's being reinvented in the hotel room?
I think it's being reinvented, and to overuse the word, it will be personalized. So the TV will be the TV you want it to be. It needs to be a great TV, by the way. But then, if you're watching something on Netflix on the way in the plane, you need to walk into the room and be able to put it there immediately and continue watching. Now, having said that, that also becomes the hub for other customer pain points. So, customers, when they're in the room, one of the other things they don't like is housekeeping knocking on the door at any time of the day to get in and clean the room. So, with connected room, we will be able to better understand the movement of customers, therefore clean rooms when customers are not in them versus disturbing their stay when they're in them.
So you think that, and I'll finish the point here, but you think that some of the hotel companies are putting like tablets and stuff, and that you think is redundant versus the phone itself?
we'll see how that plays out, but most customers now have a highly capable smartphone which they want to use, right? That they do use to control their life. And so to ask them to put that down and pick up another one, seems unnecessary.
Drilling down a little bit more into the loyalty part that you mentioned, the Amazon deal that you did relatively recently, I think.
Yep.
Certainly one of the first ones in the hospitality industry. Explain what that is for people who don't know.
Yeah, so we now have a connection between Honors and Amazon so that you can redeem your Hilton Honors points for purchases on Amazon. And really the objective was just utility, right? We want to give our customers maximum utility from the points they earn with us. Now, most of those points get used and saved to redeem in our hotels around the world, right?
Correct.
Our resorts, luxury hotels, special occasions. But we also wanted to increase utility by giving them the option to spend them elsewhere, because we know as customers engage with us and see utility in that currency, then they become more loyal, they see more value in the relationship they have with us.
So when is Amazon starting selling Hilton rooms?
Nothing planned.
Nothing
planned.
Let's shift gears a tiny bit. Hilton has been at the forefront of direct booking, the ad campaign, Stop Clicking Around.
Yep.
You were the first
Yep.
hotel company just to be very in the face about that. Direct booking now accounts for approximately a third of all Hilton bookings, with 10% and growing coming from mobile. That's your CEO, Chris, said that, I think, recently. Do you see that increasing? Do you see this as sort of an equilibrium at this point?
Yeah, and so the third is digital direct.
Okay.
So a third of our business comes through digital channels. Actually, well over 60% comes direct through other voice and direct to property.
Which is incredible for people.
Which is still a big amount. But a third digital, and a third of that is now mobile, an app which is growing at a very strong pace. And I mean, the whole push for that was back to the customer experience, right? We know if a customer engages direct, they join our program, they share some information, we can give them access to features like Choose Your Room, Digital Key, Check-in, Connected Room. We can give them better value, so we can ultimately, back to the very start, give them a better experience. And that's our objective, because if they have a better experience, then they will preference our brands and our hotels. And that will give us the opportunity to serve more customers.
This Choose Your Room thing, which we did a story back in 2016, if I remember right, Deanna did a story, our hospitality editor, that this is 2016, why can't we choose a room? And why can't we choose a room? I think you guys launched right after or something like that. I mean, airlines obviously...
We saw your thing and then we built it.
Went right into
obviously
it.
what happened. Yeah. Thank you.
From a technical complexity perspective, talking to the PMSs of hotels, I bet is a really complex thing, real-time inventory, to be able to do that. And obviously, as an asset-light company, primarily, you're working with owners and operators as well. How complex is that? Like, is that something that other companies, you think it's time that it's possible for everybody else to adopt it as well?
Yeah, I mean, 2 or 3 years on after launching our floor plans and Choose Your Room, I think we're still the only company at scale to do that. And that's because of some of what you referenced, the complexity. We were fortunate in that we had deployed a standard on-property proprietary property management system, which we had invested in over a number of years, but it gave us this ability to connect above and on property seamlessly. Everybody's done it for inventory, but actually to get down to the room number and the specific location is a complex issue. But again, when you put the customer at the heart, that is exactly what they want. They want the ability to see the hotel and understand the floor plan and pick where they're going to be.
And so obviously this is only available to the loyalty members, correct?
That's right.
And is there a sense of what % of people are actually doing that?
So just under 60% of all our business is loyalty members. We have around 70 million loyalty members, and we're seeing, I don't have the exact number, but it's 30% or so of them use it. The repeat use is sky high.
I'm sure, yeah, once you do it one time.
Once you do it. If you're a frequent traveler, as I am, the ability to know my room, know it's ready, and go straight there when I arrive is just paramount.
Taking personalization to sort of the human level, for you and for I guess everybody else, personalization isn't just towards the consumer. Personalization is empowering the employees then to be personalizing their services to the traveler as well. What's the cultural change you think that needs to happen there, tech and cultural change?
Yeah, and that, again, is where we're very fortunate. For almost 100 years, we have been a business of people serving people. That is our primary business, hospitality, not technology, but hospitality. Therefore, we have a culture that is ingrained in empowering people, to be able to personalize an experience. And people can do that without technology, right? You do that by watching people's body language, understanding what it is they want from you. Do they want a fast check-in, or do they want to talk to you about the local community and what they can do? And so the personalized side of hospitality, which is our core business, is kind of the easiest bit for us. What we are now doing is saying, how do we layer data and technology into that to both enhance the capabilities of our team members to do it even better, whilst giving our customers the choice and control to engage in that personal hospitality if they want to, or choose to bypass, go straight to room and personalize their stay digitally if they want to. And we see that tends to change not based on customer, but based on occasion. Business trip, very functional. I want to get there. I want it to be efficient. Special occasion, I want to engage. I want to, be more in the human hospitality that's available in the hotel.
So, automation has been a big topic in pretty much everywhere. We're sitting in the middle of Silicon Valley. That's where a lot of the innovations are coming from. In the hospitality experience, we've written and covered over the last few years the coming automation or bits and pieces that are being automated. What all can be automated from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, our core business is people serving people, so that will not go away and not be automated. But what you can do is provide that choice and control. So straight to room is an example. It's not automation, but it is giving the customer the power to choose their service level. Similarly, connected rooms, similarly with ordering amenities up front through the app. So I don't think we'll see that.
So robots are not coming. Didn't you do an experiment on robots or something recently?
We test hundreds of innovations on an ongoing basis, and yes, we have had. Now, some of the ways we've seen some success in that respect is in facilitating in-person meetings with some kind of robotic telepresence type capability for the one person who couldn't be present
in the meeting.
Okay. So that's an interesting area, and we do think, and it's not robotics, but as the huge platforms and the voice-activated capabilities expand, then we do expect consumers to have personal type assistants who understand them and their preference and engage through their choice of voice or whatever medium they choose to engage with their technology. That has to seamlessly be able to talk to our technology in a way that enables our customer service to be distributed through those platforms.
So voice search, Heisha talked about her anecdote. My anecdote is I have a 3.5-year-old son with an Alexa. He still can't say Alexa. He says Alesha. So it's about a month away from him actually saying Alexa. So we're dreading that part in our house. So voice search seems to be real. It's where a lot of people in their homes are moving towards. The use cases, there are obviously use cases in a hotel in the room. Yep. Are there other use cases, do you think, from a booking perspective, we're getting there anywhere?
I'm sure there are, right? That we will have to get to a point where we enable bot-to-bot interaction versus people to whatever the messaging system may be. My anecdote, since we're all sharing children-based anecdotes, I have a 15-year-old who was in his room with 3 screens, one with Netflix, one with a game, and one with the room with his friends in. And in this room, there were a couple of members of, I don't even know what they call it, the conversation that I didn't recognize. And he said, well, they're the bots. And so I said, and what do they do for you? And he said, well, we've got a music bot and a gaming bot. If somebody is in chat saying, I want to hear this song, we just activate the bot. The bot goes off to the internet, finds whatever free service it can to get the song, brings it back to the room and plays it. Or if we're talking about a certain game and we want to understand the top scorer or how we rank, we just activate the bot in our chat room and it goes off, does all the hard work for us and comes back and tells us. So that clearly, maybe that's all familiar to you, but that shocked the
But
Jesus
the only
out
time
of
I'm
me.
happy I'm not young anymore.
But we must expect that kind of, we have to enable that personal preference-driven bot-to-bot activation across travel.
So you think a lot of B2B applications are about to come in the voice search arena?
A new B2B, yes.
A bunch of stuff we're going to talk about today in the Heisha's presentation, the travel tech and personalization in an age of tech backlash. As I mentioned, used to be a year ago, used to say privacy, people's eyes used to glaze over. They're sort of leaning in now. I'm guessing GDPR was a big part of the European operations. You probably just went through it or still going through it, ongoing thing. What's the fine line?
So, I mean, for us, obviously, privacy and security are key. You know, customers have come, I don't know if I mentioned, over 100 years, we're nearly 100 years old, to expect safety and security with us because they actually sleep with us, right? They're actually physically in our premises. But to extend that to digital, you know, we use customer information purely and solely to enhance their experience internally, and we make that commitment to customers. If we are going to use their information to share with anybody else, it is only with their strict consent. And I guess we're fortunate that we have that legacy of trust with customers. We take it very seriously to remain true to those guidelines, otherwise we'll lose it. But I think as long as what you do enhances a customer's experience, they appreciate it. And as soon as you do something that they feel is not helpful, they tell you very quickly.
Speaking of trust, and that very large company that's about 20 minutes drive from here that will remain unnamed is at the center of it. Right. In terms of the channels that you work with now from a third-party distribution, whether it's Google and Facebook and others that are there, does Google still rule in all possible ways?
You know, we work with all of them because basically we want to be at the intersection of our customers and their lives and wherever they take themselves. Google clearly is a very large player in that respect. You know, forgetting hospitality, I think when you step back, everybody needs to watch them very carefully, right? Because they're huge and growing platforms which, you know, serve a dual purpose. They're a place to research everything in your life, and they're also commercial organizations. And that's, you know, sometimes a delicate balance. But we work with all of them extensively because they're effective ways to intersect with our customers' lives.
Do you worry, for instance, all the stuff that's happening with YouTube and advertisers pulling a lot of the dollars? I don't know if you're directly in charge of thinking about all of that, but where ads for big brands showing up against content that they shouldn't show up. Do you worry about that? Or have you pulled your advertising?
We have not had any issues, but it's hugely important. You know, the customers' perception of our brands, which are driven in most part because of the strong branded experiences and the hospitality they get, is paramount. So we pay a lot of attention to not only the social side of our business, you know, energy conservation, etc., and reinvesting in our communities, but also to ensuring we are acting responsibly with where we're advertising.
Has Facebook moved up the funnel for you?
A little bit.
Move down the funnel, not up the funnel.
It is, you know, a still relatively small but effective and growing point of intersection between ourselves and our customers. So relatively young in that respect compared to Google and the others, but growing.
So from a third-party tech perspective, there's a lot of companies that are here that provide services to companies like yours. Where do you expect to spend the most money in the next 2-3 years? Yeah,
and I'd say two things. One, you know, it's not a specific area except for ensure you put the customer at the heart, observe and understand customer opportunities or pain points, and solve them to make the customer experience better. And if you can do that, if we can do that, then there will be a draw to invest in that, because ultimately that's the gold standard. I think secondly, maybe more specifically, you know, as Alexa and Siri, etc., grow, you know, and as they become also personal assistants of customers, then that interaction point between all those different platforms and our cloud-based API-enabled infrastructure is going to be a place of significant development and opportunity. We can't build out platforms that interact and are different for every one of these services, because there will be huge amounts of technology and highly expensive. And if you do that, it will lead to inconsistent experiences. So that kind of very middle ground is a ground I know some companies are starting to look at, but I think will be very fertile.
So in general, your preferences in the build, buy, partner sort of spectrum, you're very much either build or partner. Because would you buy a technology company?
We wouldn't buy a technology company. I never say never, but our history has shown that we don't do that. But we certainly buy technology.
Right.
We certainly buy technology. So we do build as well. And in some cases, Connected Room is a great example. There are lots of in-room media streaming capabilities that you can buy, but none of them really address the Internet of Things capabilities we wanted, with lighting and heating and access for our room service and room servicing capabilities to see what was going on in a room. So in that case, we had an OEM relationship and built a box. So we do whatever is appropriate to get the right customer-centric capabilities at the end.
Let's go to questions. You will see, I think, up there maybe the first question: how confident are you that Hilton's segmentation schema, wow, this person is hardcore, can be activated across all channels in which you interact with customers? How confident are you? I'm trying to understand the question. Segmentation schema can be activated across all channels. As your yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, how confident? Very. It's wonderful and it's working well. No, it's an area of huge complexity and increasing complexity. And, our customer segmentation, like our brand segmentation, is very important for how we market. So I can't be confident that it's 100%, but I know it's good and it's working because we see customers' response, and I know we continue to focus on it to make it better. I think that's all we can do.
Which company inside and outside of travel do you admire in terms of tech innovation?
I mean, funnily enough, the next question is Salesforce. I am an admirer of Salesforce. We have, again, purchased the use of Salesforce for several parts of our business. And I like the openness of the platform, the integratability of the platform. Certainly admire
Which other small hotel company or large that you admire that you won't buy but you like it?
Small hotel company.
Or it doesn't have to be small.
Yeah. No, I'm a fan.
Or hospitality.
Yeah, I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of some of the independent hotels, which are not companies but just destinations you find, and that in part is why some of our new brands are enabling those great hotels, to join collections, because they want the power of an engine, they want the power of a loyalty program, which Salesforce are saying is dead, but they want that, and therefore they plug in. So
let's take that question. The next one, Mark Benioff, Salesforce CEO, said loyalty programs are dead.
I'm sure we could pontificate on if that's right or wrong. Our loyalty program is growing faster than ever. We're adding over 1 million members a month to the program. It's almost 70 million.
Is that primarily because people want free Wi-Fi? No, I mean that's a
no.
real thing.
It's certainly one of the benefits.
Right.
They want free Wi-Fi. They want their points. They want the better price. They want the digital key. Choose their room. So it's a whole package of elements, and we're purposefully trying to put that together to make it highly valuable to all different types of travelers. Road warriors want the points, right? Because then they want to do the holidays and redeem. Infrequent travelers want the Wi-Fi, the discount, and now actually they want the points because they can redeem them for small purchases on Amazon. So we're trying to make that universally valuable, and the rate at which members are joining suggests it's doing okay so far.
So Mark is not dead. Have your direct booking efforts had any impact on the types of data that you collect for consumers and any personalization efforts? Actually, a good question.
Our direct booking efforts were core to that drive for loyalty membership and really, kind of catapulted that effort. So it's definitely accelerated the growth of our loyalty program, which accelerates the data collection that we're able to do. And of course, our loyalty customers who we have a direct relationship with us allow us to, collect information, which is valuable. So in those ways, yes.
All right. Well, with that, thank you very much.
Great. Thank you.